And yes, I'm like 15 minutes early because reasons. Anyway, we have everything set up, hopefully, and working. The stream avatars did not want to work, as you can see now. I can move them and everything. Everything is working. They didn't want to work. I had to mess around with this a lot, and only just in the last 2 hours did I get this working at all. Why is the pear clinging to the side like that? Anyway, I have to put this music stuff on, which I have got. I've also got a nice high quality recording, so that will be available hopefully as something for me to edit when this is streamed. Don't know, that sounds kind of loud, is it? I think it's okay, yeah. Could turn it down a little. That's a bit, I think that's a bit better. Anyway, we do need to bring up the wheel, because the wheel is going to decide a lot for us. So if I can find out, where is the, so we can bring up the wheel, can remove this image. So we have automation ready to go here. We have a number of body types. Honestly, I did have a lot of stuff set up at the top. You can't see it, but I had a lot of like tab groups and everything. And then it reset them all when I rebooted the PC, which I didn't think it would do. But anyway, I'm going to just use what I call the number wheel here. That will give me a lot of options. For now, we have chassis and body, though. I've entered, or re-entered, should I say, the body type, because there's not really a way of using the numbers for this. So let's see what this comes up with. Let's see what body it gives me. High performance sport small. This should be interesting then. So I should be able to just remove a wheel like that. There we go. High performance sport small. I can just leave that on the wheel, to be honest. It makes it easier to see what I've got. So we're looking at body type. We're going to want sport. We're looking at more of a supercar here, but a small one. So this should be interesting. I think it shows up under coupe. Now, I don't know how large you're going to look. That's 2.6, so that's more medium, I think. We're looking something small. This, I think it's a Honda, is it? What do they call it? It escapes me. We also have that. I would say that's fairly small. A little bit more like an Aston Martin, though. We're looking for high performance. And as far as high performance small bodies, is it the Honda... Not the Honda Beat. That was the 90s version. This looks like... Yeah, that's got a smaller version. I think I did select it so it supports different engines. Engine position. I think that's showing. Yeah, it's hidden by my Hoge, but they are all ticked. So we've got that. 2.3. I quite like this one, actually, as well. That looks like a supercar. Just a miniaturized version. And this, even. So there's a few bodies we can use. I don't know exactly where to go yet, but we do have actually a good choice of bodies. So it's obvious, that's, I think, more of an MX-5. So I think we have, like, 3 major choices. We have this, we have this one, and we have this one. This one's smaller, so I'm going with this one just because it's, like, one of the smallest. Yeah, I think that is the smallest I can get of this type of body. So I'm going with this one. At least lengthwise, it's short. I don't know about other means. It might still be quite wide, but it's short. That's the important thing. What year is it, actually, I wonder? I think it's quite recent, 09, so given the game maxes out at 2020, in automation terms, it is pretty small. Now, I need to bring back the wheel. I've got a number wheel, as I said, so if I can just bring that up. This is going to decide which one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, yeah, this is going to be one of 7, and I'm going to just choose this way because it's easier than having to type everything out. So what have we got? We've got 1, 3. Okay, 1 would have just been steel. I got that before and it's not great. Fiberglass, I'll take that actually. You know, it's not like full carbon fiber or anything, but that is a good material for a sports or supercar. Even into the modern age, that's pretty light, which is exactly what you want for the higher end of the car. So I'm going to have to enter 3 again. I thought I didn't have a wheel up when I spun. Like, that would have been awkward. So we've got 3. I have selected fiberglass and automation, by the way. So it looks like we've got 6 options here. We don't need 7 then. And that should help us choose this body type. I mean, you know, I have this little keyboard here. I say little. It's a fairly standard size Windows 7 era keyboard. But anyway, 5. It seems to so far be being quite nice to me. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to find out it's going to give me leaf swings front and a double wishbone weir, or just something really cruel. So we've got number 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Semi-space frame. This is actually, no kidding, this is how I would set up a car. So for a random wheel spin thingy, this is going very well. We've got actually a very good chassis. Not full carbon fibre, as I say, but it's like a very good configuration for a little sports car. Especially the size being smaller. This thing is just not going to be inherently heavy. So I think we're onto something. So we've only got 2 options left here, due to how it's configured. I mean, maybe it's a chassis type or body, but anyway, we're gonna go with this, I think. Unless there's engine position. I did select all 3 here, I think. So, I don't know, does that support them all? I'll give a go to the other bodies, like if they support front engine or whatever, just to give the most chance. Does this support front engine? They're all greyed out, so let's try something that should support pretty much all engine configurations, just for the sake of comparison. The Beetle, maybe? I don't know what this is exactly, but it seems like something that should support all the engine types. Okay. But it did, at the same time, it did say a sports car, or a high-performance sports car. And how we're left with these really small high-performance sports cars, they are mid-engine, so I'm just not given much choice due to the problem it's given me before. I tried the 3 bodies that were really relevant, in case one of them would give me a front engine chance. It didn't, so at least I think this means we're not getting leaf swings. We should get a very good car as a result of that, but we only need 1 or 2, because they're the numbers available. So let's see. Let's see just how this turns out. I mean, you can't see automation, but I'll show it when I've got all this stuff configured, so you can see that. We're going with transverse. This makes too much sense for a random wheel build. Transverse, like aluminium chassis, fiberglass body. This makes too much sense. I feel like it's leading me on and it's going to do something to completely mess me up later on. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. You can put leaf on the front. If it's got a chance to mess with me, this is going to be its chance. You'll see now starting to be where it's going. Oh, is it going to be nice? Is it going to give me push one, I think? So that would be, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll take it. I mean, personally, I would go with, like, McPherson strut or double wishbone. But pushrod is good. I'll take it. You know, even if the back isn't pushrod, I can do something. I can make something of this. Should be a solid setup overall. So we only need 1, 2, and 3 here. And then, as I say, I'll show you what I've got to with the base chassis. Because it looks quite good to me. Or are we going 2? Are we going double wishbone? Yes, we are. You know what? It's a bit of an odd configuration. I'll say that much. I feel like if you were to mismatch these suspensions typically, you would go with pushrod rear, double wishbone front, like the other way round. But I think I can make this work. I think with the correct tuning, you can get pushrod and double wishbone working. So I can't complain too much about that. Now, if I just get rid of a wheel on OBS. So we've got that. That is our body. You'll see all the stuff down here. I don't need to explain that too much. We've got quite a light body and a light chassis. We've got, yeah, the chassis is aluminium. There's no choice there. We've got a transverse engine, which may work out well, depending on what engine it gives me. either longitudinal would be better or transverse would be better. I think transverse is pretty good. Pushrod front suspension and double wishbone rear. Not the meanest it could have been. It gave me pretty good suspension front and rear, even if it is a little mismatched. So that's a thing. It also might depend on weight balance too. Like how good the weight balance is might affect how good this suspension plays into it. Before it gave me a on the car, I'll just show it now. This is the no, that's a wheel. This is the car I had before. This ended up being steel-bodied, like large SUV or truck body, but it's mid-engined and rear-wheel drive, and it's got a carbureted supercharged V10. So that's a thing. That ended up pretty interesting. And then we've got this, which is completely different to what we had before. Now, I'm not going to do any design work, but I'm going to do something. I'm going to have the decision here as to what to do, I think. Or actually, so we've got a few, I think. I think I'll give it a choice on what basic one. So we've got, like, coupe. We've got, have we got a convertible? We've not got a lot, actually. So we've got coupe, however you say it. Some of them aren't showing, which is a little odd. It seems only every 2 it clicks for some bizarre reason. So we've got coupe. Okay, so we've got like 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 different types of body. You know what? I'll do that with the wheel then. I'll give it the choice of 1, 2, 3, or 4. Because some of them have convertible roofs and stuff, and that will affect the overall weight. So I'm going to do that for that reason. Then we've got 4. Interesting choice. That is going to be the heaviest of the lot. So it seems to like select these 2 at once. I don't know what's going on with this body. It should be fine when exported. So again, we'll go into 4 again because it removed it last time round. We're going to see, can we get something good? Number 2? Just about number 2. So we're going with a manual soft top. I think it's got detachable soft top and manual soft top, as you can see. It's got also the wheel has to go for now. I think manual soft top is like it's attached, but you have to slide it back manually. And automatic's got motors and stuff. And detachable, I think it's just like a panel you can take off kind of thing. So we've got, we've actually got a very realistic car here. I would say, aside from a pushrod front suspension, that would in real life be McPherson's struts on this kind of car. But, or maybe double wishbone, given there's not a lot of height there. But at least this has given me a surprisingly realistic build. I do also need to change the manufacturer to wheel. Can't forget that. What I'll call it later will be a thing, but we have to call it Wheel because that is the brand. Wheel has developed this car. High flake, perhaps. I like this blue, actually. So we've got that. That blue looks pretty good. I would go with chrome, but I don't know. I feel like that's kind of plasticky looking at the top. So if we get this, this is where I do have some freedom. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy at the moment. I'm just going to get some trim and stuff running. So, all trim panels. Don't know if that tweaks the chassis and everything. So that is one option. We can make it all blue paint, but I don't think that looks good. What I could do, potentially, because, you know, Core 2 Duo, so we like the blue and silver here. Now, aluminium maybe? It's made of fiberglass, so that's not going to be the best. If we could go with, I think, paint, but if we go with like a greyish silver type colour, maybe high flake but less shine. Mid flake, perhaps? Yeah, I think mid flake, maybe mid shine. Just go for this overall like aluminium type look, and it suits the whole Core 2 Duo thing. I can do something with a soft top as well to make it like vaguely match the whole ordeal a little better. So we've got that. Don't know, I'm not naming this, I don't know. Just name it Core 2 Duo Silver, for lack of a better term. I do like that colour, though. So then we can go, hopefully rename this. Core 2 Duo. I'm just really branding a colour that isn't mine. But anyway, I own these colours now. They are mine. So we're also going to have to go with a soft top, as I said, I think mentioned before. The trim and the chassis have ended up as that silver. Yeah, it did say change all, but I wasn't so sure. So where's the trim? Ah, so that's the trim inside the wheels, is it? So we've got carpet as well. I'll reset these three because I don't think they need to be the Core 2 Duo Silver. I mean, I should have just paid more attention, but I didn't. So the carpet, that can be reset. So have I... Yeah, I adjusted the wrong trim there, but no less, no harm done. I've got this working, I think. As I say, if I can get this roof to match my whole Core 2 Duo aesthetic, I will be more than happy with this. Because, like, the blue and silver, it's kind of inverse, because I think, like, the blue should go at the bottom, if I remember correctly. No. Yeah, the silver's at the bottom and the blue is at the top, but I think on this particular car, we want it the other way around. The wheels, I don't know, okay? So we're going to go back to that later, because whether it's alloys or not, that's going to be another matter. I can make Steelies work, though. I could just go with hubcaps if it does so decide I have to go with Steelies. So that's not the end of the world. We've got the roof, okay. So we're going to go on the soft top somewhere. There we go, soft top. So I should be able to go with like a more greyish soft top, which should kind of blend. That one blends pretty well, I think, with the rest of the colour. You can't change a lot here, but that works. So I'm going to name this Core 2 Duo Soft Top, which isn't a very imaginative name, but it lines up. So there we go. I think this is looking so far pretty good. I'm going to put alloys on it for now, just to finish a look, but I can change them later. So because we're looking at what's likely a sort of modern car, we want some somewhat modern looking wheels, I think. They're not going to do it. Just finding something that will work. Hopefully. They look okay. Yeah, I think for now I'll stick these on. Because at this size, they look decent. I can resize them. There's no rule saying I can't resize the wheels that I have set up. But I'm actually impressed, I will admit. Even if it doesn't turn up with alloys and I have to give it hubcaps to try and make it look halfway decent, I think we'll still be decent. So we've got another thing to do with a wheel here. We've got, yeah, I'm speaking away from the microphone, which I probably shouldn't do, but it's this overall setup being a little crazy. So we've got the wheel. Enter some names to get started. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we've got 6 different options here. Most of them are all-wheel drive, I think. Or I could make less. Like, I think I did that before. And then I had another selection if there were all-wheel drive. Because otherwise, it's massively skewed in favour of some kind of all-wheel drive system or 4x4 system. So we'll do this. This will decide whether it's going to be just the rear wheels driven or just the front ones. Bit more fair, I think. Are we going to go... Okay, we're going to go with some kind of all-wheel drive. This can work still. Maybe it's... I feel like maybe it's going to end up more luxurious than I'd initially expected, but still. We have got the winner being some kind of all-wheel drive. So we've got 1, 2, 3... There's 5. Yeah, there's 5 of these are all versions of all-wheel drive. So that's why I have to do 2 spins here to try and get this thing to be fair. Are we going to go... Oh my. I think it started being cruel. We're going with a 4x4 system, which does not suit this type of vehicle at all. It's like the one driveline that I just don't see working on this. So now we get rid of a wheel in OBS. Yeah, you'll see. We're going with a new project for the engine. manual. Let's see what craziness it comes up with. So, bring up the wheel again. We've got some numbers. So we've got 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to dictate the engine block configuration. I did it a little differently than this before, but I think if I go through each phase just with numbers, I can enter so many different variables and see what it does to me. Oh, are we going? Yeah, I should not have clicked that. Left click, was it? Right click, sorry. So we've got a V90. Now, this could be interesting. Are we going to build like a weird hybrid between an American pickup truck and a little Lotus or something? Just generally a little European sports car. This could be a very interesting car. As much as 4x4 doesn't... Yeah. Hello, Helena. I have... Yeah. I've got... It's a PNG tuber, technically, yeah. So, VTubers would take too much work. The eyes were the hard part. Everything else was not hard. Just the eyes, getting the eyes to work. The Ahoge also blocks half a screen, which I didn't think of when I designed it. But anyway, I'm going to have to go with, yeah, I'm going to have to go with V90. I'm just deciding if I remove a wheel temporarily. Yeah, I'm deciding what engine specs to use with the wheel. I'll show you what I've got so far. This. It was actually being pretty sensible, though. Like, if I just go through this kind of, we've got a fiberglass body material, which is good for a sports car. It's very lightweight. We've got a semi-space frame, again, pretty good, pretty lightweight. It's not the same as having a fiberglass, which I think that would be under monocoque. That would be fiberglass. No, that would be, sorry, rare carbon fibre saved. But we've still got a good light chassis, even if it's not like the top tier stuff. And we've got pushrod front suspension and double wishbone rear. Little of an odd configuration, but it's not cruel like giving me leaf springs on the front. And then it started getting odd after manual soft top. It started getting odd. So we go along, we've got 4x4. That's an off-roader drivetrain. You see, that and all these others can be used on a sports car. This is designed strictly for off-roaders. So why the wheel has decided to give me an off-road 4x4 system, I don't know. As for the engine, that's just what I'm getting onto now. It's V90, so that just means a 90-degree V6, 8, 10, 16. We're going to dictate how many cylinders. For now, I'm just using numbers because it's more convenient, so I'll enter them and then I'll bring up the wheel. So we've got 6, 8. There's no 7 cylinders here available to us. So we've got 16. Let's see how the wheel comes in. There's our wheel. The avatars did not want to work on this system. I only got them working about 2 hours ago or so. So, yeah. I managed to somehow mess with the PC and get them working on the gaming computer. But they did not want to open on the program. So, yeah, it's mainly just luck. And how many cylinders? Are we getting a V10 again? The last car, which I will just bring up here. That last car we built, where was it? Image. If I hide the wheel, which is, yes, we need 10. I've got so many layers. This was the last thing we built. And it was, like, weird. But that also had a V10 mounted in the middle, actually. I think it had a transverse V10. This car is also having a transverse V10. The more you know. Yeah, who didn't like the avatar? The wheel. Yeah, this... I don't know. The wheel is weird at times. So far, this is actually ending up being surprisingly logical, though. I know the avatars didn't like the avatar. It's possible, but I tried opening it even without the avatar software around, so... Yeah, I'm just being slow, it seems. But yeah, the avatar program, it's completely separate from the PNG tuber software. The PNG tuber software isn't even on Steam, so why they would conflict, I'd have no idea. It just didn't like opening, as I say. I played around with the files, I moved some stuff around, and then lo and behold, it worked. After I did something that should never have actually done anything to fix the program. I was just messing around, and that somehow got everything working. And it had all my settings on, so that saved a bit of time. Anyway, we have got this. Now, how many have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options. So we'll bring up the wheel in a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm really using my old Windows 7 era keyboard to the limits. Yeah, everything should work on the avatars the same as the art streams, though, because I just imported the settings. Oh, 4, so... Owlsy heavy, that's pretty good. Like, it's not the lightweight material, but that is a good technology. I will accept that. So we'll go, how many? There's 4 now. So there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 options here. Let's see what... Chaos. 8. We have got a 10-cylinder engine. We've got a 10-cylinder engine. That's the closest number to 8 I think we have so far. A V8 would have been fun, but a V10 isn't a bad option. The other one sounded amazing, but it tended to overheat, which I just managed to ramp the cooling up and get it fixed. We're going with... Okay, they're being too nice now. Dual overhead cam. Dual overhead cam is too kind. That is like a pretty nice technology. So we've got 2... Oh no, not 12. We've got 2, 4, and 5 valves. Let's see if the slot machine is as scammy as it was before. This will be interesting. If a slot machine is scammy, it won't give you the money. I mean, as I say, I think it works the same as the art system was, so it should give the same. We've got 4 valves. You know, this is too good. Like, even if you know nothing about engines, all you need to know is, like, this is kind of Lamborghini Ferrari spec stuff. This is far better than it has a right to be. Did it actually give the money out? I didn't see it give the money out. Is it being scammy again? Because I did see it. It gave. I did see it on OBS. It gave like the coins out, but it doesn't seem to be saying that on the actual chat in YouTube, which is just strange. So we've got 4 valves. Yes, I've entered that. So now we've got to decide what head material there is, because if you'll see there, it's defaulted to cast iron, which is a very heavy head. It would be a very odd way of doing things, that like the head is cast iron and then the lower end is something really heavy, but then the lower end is something really light. Sorry, so a light bottom end, a heavy top end. Very unusual, but it has been done before on the odd car. So we've got 5, 6, 7. The red light is flashing just behind me head, so yeah, the red light is flashing behind my head because the engine is kind of already broken before I've even finished building it. That's a good sign. Oh, are we getting some good stuff here? We're getting 6. Yes, there was options 6 and 7, and we still managed to get 6. I think that's a little heavier than the Alzi we got for the lower end, but aluminium is good. This is a good engine already. I'm going to save that, and then they're going to give me a carburetor, which is a really antiquated way of injecting the fuel into the system. Something isn't working. The engine doesn't fit. Okay. So, yeah, the engine is too large. For that reason... Sakura, did you take my coin? What's weird is it worked on the other PC. Yes, so that's working. My modified version of the 8-ball is working. But, that is just weird, because I did fix that on the art PC. The only thing I could guess is I'm using a somewhat older version of the save settings, so that can be fixed. I mean, worst case, the avatars exist, but the gambling doesn't work. We're going to go, anyway, we're going to go up to 5 litres, because I don't think anything else is really going to fit in this car all that well. So, we're going to go with up to 5 litres. So this will be the size, basically. It has to be underneath the number in litres. I will try and mess with stream avatars later. I was going to think like under 1 litre. Under 1 litre? That would be crazy. I'm not sure you can even get the V10 that small. So we've got under 4 litres of engine. You know what? This is going to work. It's going to be a fairly light car for what it is. Why is the wheel being so kind? I feel like it's just waiting for something to go wrong kind of ordeal. And if that's the case, I fear what it's planning. I fear what the wheel is plotting because it's been so kind to me so far. Like, the 4x4 system is a little unconventional. But if I just hide the wheel. So that's a little unconventional. That's the only thing it's done thus far. That's a bit strange. Everything else, it actually makes sense. Like, I would perhaps try building a car myself this way. If I was just going for a high-end supercar, I would try these very settings. That's what's crazy. It's not doing anything really out there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7. And that is now what we've got. So I'll bring the wheel up. Let's see how this goes. Let's see what we're going to use for the crankshaft material. This could be absolute chaos, remember? The boo-boo wheel. You know what? I should have looked at the mods for this game in case someone had actually modded in the boo-boo wheels. That would have been pretty funny. Unfortunately, I haven't updated this that recently. I think it might have been like a couple of weeks ago or something. I checked the mods for this game. Oh, cast iron heavy. Now that is kind of mean. Cast iron heavy for the crankshaft. That is not good for putting power down whatsoever. The only advantage, we've got 10 cylinders, so typically it will rev better just because of the sheer count of cylinders. So we've got to add 1 in again. Let's see what the conrod material will be in the engine. Oh, are we getting something nice here? I think we are. At least the conrods may help with the crankshaft. The one advantage to the heavy cast iron crankshaft, it should actually at least be able to put down a bit of torque, although it's going to be terrible for just high-end power. So we've got 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got forged. This is good stuff. The crankshaft is not good stuff, but hey, the conrods are. Now the pistons is the next thing. So 1, 2, 3. I also think I would move 5. Oh dear. Let's just pretend that didn't happen, or I could spin it again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm going to spin it again because this may do me in and give me a terrible engine, but I did miss a number out and that just wasn't fair on the score at all. Oh, I got an update. Or upgrade, should I say. Somewhat of an upgrade. A forged light conrod. I think that's a bit of an upgrade over what I did have. So 5, 6, 7. I mean, the Labubu shoes was crazy because I added that for a joke and then it actually ended up being a thing. Oh, are we going to get 5? Yes, I did not want another 1 because the crankshaft being a very low tier thing, we have to make up for that somewhere. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got forged light. It makes sense other than the crankshaft, which is put something really low end on. And at the mercy of the wheel, I'm going to let that decide whether we have the counterweights, harmonic damper or balance shaft. This is probably not something I should leave to the wheel, but let's see. Oh no, are you going to be cruel? Counterweights. Let's see. Time will tell if this is time will tell if this works. So briefly close the wheel to show what I have been doing. So we've got a low-end crankshaft, a very cheap low-end crankshaft. We've got pretty good sporty conrods. We've got pretty good pistons as well. And then we've got the cheapest balancing mash you could possibly put on this engine. So that's quite a combination, I think. I'm going to just leave quality on 0 for everything because it makes things easier. Okay, so they're all things you can slide. I'm not going to let you choose the sliders because I want the engine to at least start and drive. So we've got, yeah, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's going to be a wheel thing to decide whether we have any kind of variable valve timing. So far, I can't complain too much. It could have done a lot worse. You will actually hear the engine. It does have this feature and you can hear the engine. So we're going low end. We're going no valve timing, which is a little strange, but there's places it could do a lot weirder things. So also, we've got variable valve lift. Let's imagine if we get high-end variable valve lift, but no valve timing. That would be interesting. So we've got... I think it looks like we're getting just standard VVL. There we go. So... Wheel Coon has decided our fate for that part of the engine. Again, valve timing, well, that would be nice to have. We get nothing in terms of valve timing. You do not deserve valve timing, but hey, you can get VVL, so it's all good. Oh, here's the supercharged and turbos and stuff. This is where the engine can actually get chaotic. Are we going to have like a massive turbo on? A massive single turbo or something, just to try and throw the car around. So how many have got? We've got 6 options, I think. Or, well, I guess technically. So 4 of them are turbo, or 3 of them. So I'm going to go. It's going to be naturally aspirated supercharger, turbo, or twin charged. So that's 4 different options that we have. And then if it gets turbo, I'll do 1 to 3 and I'll select a turbo. The fairest way I can do it, because when the turbo is like taking up 3 slots, I've got to try and make this fairer somehow. Oh, we're going... Okay, naturally aspirated. I think that's going to work the best, to be honest. It's maybe going to make the least power, but it means we're not messing around with superchargers and turbos and stuff, and it's just going to work. So we can also skip all this stuff. Carburetor or injection. So we'll go 2 or 1. This will decide, are we getting ancient fuel delivery, or are we getting actually decent fuel injection? We are getting a carburetor again. So I'll show the options if I go hide the wheel. This is where things can get really interesting. Like if the wheel decides, for example, I get this, we're going to get that tiny little thing to deliver power to 10 cylinders, and it's going to choke off the whole engine and not let any air get in. As you can imagine, that's going to hurt power. It's not going to make any power if I get stuck with that. So we're going to go with, bring the wheel up, let's see. Let's see how cruel it is feeling. 1, 2, 3... 4, 5. It did give the other engine a carburetor, but that was DSOE, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Yeah, it is setting on 1 a lot, I'll say that much. I do see that happening. So what are we going to go for the carburetor? Like, it's at the mercy of the wheel. If this engine turns out to be downright awful, then I can blame the wheel. Okay. Of the carburetors we could have, we're getting a 4-barrel, which is the highest end technology available. And now, of these, we have 1, 2, and 3. So we have single, twin, or triple carburetor. Let's see how many we'll get. Because if there's a lot of carburetors, if we like get triple carburetors, that's almost as good as fuel injection. And I spoke too soon. I said 3 would be almost as good as fuel injection, and it gave me 1. It gave me, like, the worst one it could have possibly given me. Yeah, the wheel is invisible. So, that's something. yeah, it's all the wheel's fault this car is going to be bad. At least, look, at least we're not stuck with a single barrel carburetor, or worse, an eco, where it's just not going to let any air in. At least it's a 4-barrel, so I can ramp up the carb size and get some air into the engine. I mean, this is a very interesting engine. And what I find more interesting, before it gave me a V10 and it decided to have a carburetor on it, it's done the exact same thing here. It's given me 10 cylinders. Well, I didn't have a V option there, but when I tried it out before, but it did choose 10 cylinders, and it did choose a carburetor. Crazy that it should do that twice in a row. You know, like, it could have gone with fuel injection here, or it could have gone with a V8 here, but it didn't. So we're going with... Oh, you know what? I'm going to leave this up to a wheel because it will be funny. So this is the fuel it uses. We'll either get lucky and we'll get, like, nitromethane, which I think is really high-end fuel, race fuel. Or we're going to just get leaded gasoline, which is... Let's just say they replaced it with unleaded for a reason. It's not exactly good for the environment. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is 6, yes. So we've got 6 settings. Why is the... There's 21 on the wheel because I mistyped it. I don't think there's really a 21 option. And the wheel decides. I will do a bit of tuning on this engine just to see, can I get this to actually perform decently. Once the wheel has put it together, we will see. We've got number 3, so that is ethanol blend. That is pretty good. And there are some different blends of ethanol that you won't see, but there's different blends of ethanol, so we'll see which one we get. Presumably highest is better for power. So we're going to see. It'll be 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will decide how good a version of ethanol blend we get. I think E70 that is, that's the third one down. I think it's set on 3, yeah. That is pretty good. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and then we've got... So we've got 6. Will we get a race manifold? Please be nice. It's actually kind of middling for fuel, to be honest. It could have been a lot crueler than it was. Oh. It started being cruel again. It's like... Okay, I'll just show this now. So, you'll see the fuel we've got. Okay, it's like, have some nice fuel. I feel like being nice to you. And then it's like, oh, you've had too much niceness. I'm just going to give you the absolute worst intake manifold I can, so you get no air into the engine and it makes no power. This is a strange engine. Because, again, the most of it is good, but there's just a few very odd decisions, which I guess is to be expected. And why does it keep settling on 1? I'm sure it chooses 1 unfairly over all the other numbers. It must be wigged. The wheel I've got on this PC, it must be wigged. Actually, I have the results up here. Yeah, so 1... here, there's a section where it's like 1, 5, 6, 5, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 5, 1, 3, 3, 1. Why are you choosing 1 so many times? So many 1s in that, like, list. Did I scroll down? Yeah, I can do that. I'll mess it up if I have that on the record. So here we've got some headers, and this is just generally the exhaust section we are going to choose. So let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 6 options, so... We'll get another 1 in there, which it's probably going to choose, given how it is. Yeah, the wheel probably does want me to suffer, because quite frankly, the more weird options it chooses on this engine, the harder it's going to be to tune. We've got cast low. Okay, why is it giving me a generally good engine, and it's giving me all the low-end settings for, like, the intake and exhaust, almost as if it doesn't want any air to be breathing through the engine and making power. Are we going to have 2 exhausts? Ah, no. Okay, if it's on the last half, because there's only 2 options here. If it's on the later half, I'll choose dual. And it is. I'll do it properly this time. I'll just have 1 and 2 for the whether it has bypass valves or not. And then again, I'll hide the wheel when I have done all the spins and show what I have ended up with. Okay, bypass valves is good. I'll take bypass valves. Why is it working in this way though? The weirdest part is I still think I can make power from this. I still think it's not going to actually be impossible. Exhaust reactor is greyed out, so I can't use that, so there will be 6 options here for the catalytic converter, which is just behind the wheel. We are going to get a freeway. Not the high flow freeway, mind you. It does not want me to have too much airflow. High flow freeway is basically better than freeway because it gives you much, much better airflow while still doing the same thing. We do not deserve that. We've got 4 options here. So 3 and 4. You should see that now on the window. It says the muffler. So yeah, just the exhaust, as I say. Are we going to get 2? We're going to get a baffled muffler. Now, if I'm unlucky, this thing is just going to make no noise at all, which is not really what you want in a sports car. For certain categories of car, you don't want them to make just no noise. the Rolls-Royce, Bentley, all that. You don't want them to make too much noise, but this car, if this makes no noise and has really good muffling, then we're in trouble because it won't appear to be like a sports car. Or give me a 1, please. The one time I need you to give me a 1 so it sounds like a sports car, and you give me a 4, which is going to muffle this. No, it's not actually. It's a straight through. A bit odd how automation works that out, but I think it's going to work. So here we have the setup. I think I should be able to hear the sound now. We're actually making quite good power. I was not expecting that. The crankshaft is the limit. Like 7,500 RPM. I might be able to change in the setting. Yeah, nice airflow. I don't think anyone said nice airflow about this car. So we've got... Let's see how this thing sounds. Does it sound good? Seemed to make no power up until the very end of the rev range, but it does sound pretty good. Okay, so can we use it? Can we just stick massive headers on and make airflow? Is that going to help us? No, not particularly. Sometimes this is a way you can get through it a little by just sticking a massive manifold on it and getting the air through that way. So another thing. The first thing I want to try here is counterweights, because sometimes you can get the revs up a little by doing this. It doesn't look like the case here. But sometimes by just sticking a heavy balancing mass on, at least 245 kilos, it's not that heavy. It's quite a light engine because it's naturally aspirated and made of light materials. So I want to change this stuff, but the wheel has decided my fate. I have to try and make this work. No less, as I say... We've got good power in general. I think we can make 300 horsepower, which, if this car is less than about, let's say, if it's less than 1350 kilos, which it may well be, that's going to be pretty good performance. Maybe not the fastest thing in the world, but this thing should go quite well. So even as awkward as the engine is, lowering that actually makes power, yeah. Yes, come on. The carburetor, that's another thing. Like, I don't think I made the carburetor larger, but that is a way you can make power in this game. Just stick a massive carburetor on. We can rev this up to about 7,300 before we start running into issues. So I'm going to try this. Okay, I'm going to stick it on 7,400. Any higher, I don't want this car to explode. I think that's enough revs. So, that will do nicely. Fuel map, we've got carbs. I have stuck the largest carb size on. I can change the timing and I can change a bunch of stuff. Oh. Why does making the tiny compact exhaust manifolds smaller actually help it? Some things we'll never know. Like, I have no doubt this isn't going to work that well. At least... The crankshaft being a high torque crankshaft, it means it's not going to blow up when it makes all this 360 torques, which is quite a lot. So the engine is actually in the clear there. Honestly, I think the forged bits that are on this engine are really carrying the crankshaft, because the crankshaft is not good for this type of car. And also, to an extent, the number of cylinders. So, we've got 287. I do believe with the right tuning, this could make 300. But that's going to take some time of building it up. As it stands, I could have done a lot worse. Especially given it's a random wheel prompt. Yeah, I mean, like, this could be a lot worse. Actually, I do have VVL, don't I? I forgot that, but I have no valve timing, but I do actually have VVL, so... I can mess up the engine if I want. That kind of makes the engine a little lumpy, though. Interesting. So there's a point, I think, at which VVL works. Somewhere around 56-ish, is it? Like that, I think 58-ish is, maybe 57 is how... Yeah, 57. Someone else being put in the slots now. I apparently do have some viewers, yay! And I got likes. That's more than the gaming channel, so... No, that's more than the art channel, so I'll take it. We have, Yeah, we have 285 horsepower. Let's hear this again. See if my refinements have done anything to the sound. Wait, the slots worked. When you actually gamble another viewer or whatever, it works and it gives you money. Why does it give you money for gambling people, yet it doesn't give you money for gambling actual money? That is just weird. That doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. Like, why is that happening? So, okay. Looks like that's some life advice for these stream avatars. If you want to win, you gamble people. Perhaps not the best life advice, but still. Oh, the transmission. This is chance for the wheel to wreak havoc. Before it actually gave me a dual clutch 7-speed, so it wasn't too cruel there. But we are, no less, we're going to have to enter 7, 8, no. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's no 8. This will give us the numbers. I'm seeing the drum brakes there. That's another chance for it to be cruel. Just completely mess up the brakes. So we have got number 4. That is 1, 2, 3. That is auto manual. Oh. Oh dear. If you've ever heard of Smarts, those little city cars, Smart 42, is it? They have automated manual. Everybody hates them, from what I've seen. No one likes the Smart 42's automated manual transmissions, and that's what we have been given. Okay, so what next? Are you going to give me 2 gears? 2 gears would be cruel. I had a 1 in there. Honestly, I'll take it. If it had selected 1, I would have probably just put 2 gears. Because I kind of, like, messed this up. But I'm going to go with 3 gears. Really. Like, this suddenly goes from being, like, a pretty modern and decently set up sports car to having the transmission that seems like it's from the 1950s. Because 3-speed autos were actually pretty common in the 1950s and 60s in large American cars. So yeah, that's what we've got in our little sports car. Something from a big American boat. What differential do we want? So we've got 7 options here. Let's see how we get the... options. We've got an open differential. Okay, we have a winner. Who could predict it was going to be another number 1? It really does like number 1. Okay, so now, this is where things start getting even more interesting than before. We've not got a sports car or a supercar, like, transmission. We've got what looks like it's trying to imitate a muscle car from the 1960s. Okay, that is not sports car stuff. Are we going to get cross-plies? Just for perspective, cross-plies are what cars used to use, but into the 1970s, and especially in the 1980s, pretty much everything had moved away from cross-ply, because that means there's no like metal ring in the tires to stop them like squashing down when you go around the corner. The yeah, that I feel like it's going to be cruel here. I feel like it's going to be very cruel, and just give me some kind of cross-plies. Let's see, because cross-plies on a modern sports car, well, it's probably going to choose 1. Let's be honest. Oh dear, please not 1. Okay, I'll take 3. It could have been, like, it's given me cross-ply, but cross-ply race tyres. At least, as cruel as that is, at least we are getting race tyres of some description. So the thing shouldn't have totally pathetic levels of grip. Oh, there's drag tyres. Are we going to get drag tyres? It could be very cruel and just give me drag tyres. I don't think it'll give me drag tyres, but it does like the number 1, so who knows. Drag tyres would destroy this thing's handling chances. And we got 7. Are they going to be rally? I think they are. Rally tyres. Are we just building a 70s rally car here? So it's got 4x4, like a 4x4 system commonly used in like off-road Jeeps and Land Rovers and stuff. At least the older ones. We've got cross-ply tyres, but rally tyres. I'm pretty sure at this point it's just turning into a 1970s group something or other rally car. I don't memorise the groups that well. But yeah. Now, are we going to get steel wheels? Because I think I might just run into the... I might lean into the whole rally car thing if it's got a rim material that is steel. So we've got steel, alloy. There is 6 options here. So I'm not going to have 7 again. I mean, they are very rally tyres. If only it gave me radial rally tyres, they would be so much better. But clearly this car is from like 1970. As I'm sure you can tell by the way it looks. So we've got alloys. Okay, that's a good option. Alloys were a thing in the 70s though. They were like the big new technology, but they were very much a thing in the 70s. The more I see it, the more it goes along those lines. I'm definitely just at this point going to lean into it. So if I go with trim and body aesthetics, we now know what kind of wheels we're going to go with. So we've got these. There should be 70s. So actually, I'll remove the wheel. I shouldn't start that one. But we've got the 70s style wheels somewhere in this car. 40 to 59 hubcaps. I just have to see how dumb this looks. Yay! I'll probably make them smaller because, as I say, leaning into the rally car aesthetic. 40 to 59 sport, 80 to 99 luxury. We're going, I think, with 70s. They're utility. It doesn't have to strictly be 70s wheels, but I want to lean into the idea. So what have we got? 80s or 90s? Okay, 1920s or 70s. What have we got here? I'm slightly lost with where to go. There doesn't seem to be many wheels here, but fall into line. These are okay. Base 60 to 79 sport. You know what? Torque thrusts. They're like classic muscle car wheels. I think personally, if I'm going for a 70s rally car, I need something like mini light style, which would be these. That's odd. They don't display correctly, but the 4-lug version of the exact same wheel do. So that's what I'm going to be using. Very strange. Very strange, that is. I think I can make this work, though, as you see. Especially if I change the front end so it doesn't look so modern. I think I can get something running here. There is also no mandatory requirement for making the wheels a certain size. So I can make them 15s. I think 16s work, which are actually the same size as my IRL car has 15s. I can actually make them quite wide as well, even though they're cross plies, which is interesting. I wonder if it's because they're technically race tyres. Because I remember the thing about cross plies and how they're set up, you typically can't make them that wide. Maybe the race ones are different. I quite like where this is going. Like, it's not looking finished yet. But, there's a Ford GT70. If I could find an image of a GT70. So if I could find an image of a GT70. Ford. Because this is what it reminds me of with how this is going. Images. So here we go. This is an image page for the Ford GT70. Those wheels actually look a bit larger, but this is the kind of thing I'm thinking I'll go for. This was rear-wheel drive, but it's the kind of vibe I get from where this build is going. So if I can like lean into this and build something that's somewhat like the GT70, I think I could do a lot worse than that. So, yeah, I do think there's going to be some work to be done, and it's definitely a modern car, but the whole thing has got cross-ply tyres and stuff, And the wheel has also gone off my screen. The whole thing about having cross-ply tyres. Yeah, brakes. Now, this is a chance for it to be really cruel. We do have carbon ceramics, which isn't accurate to the 70s, but it is an option. So we've got 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all here. We will bring up the wheel. There we go. Come on, please be kind. Oh dear, you can't make this up. That is the worst it could have possibly been. We're looking at SLS drum brakes on the front. That's not even the good drum brakes. That's the worst possible brakes on the front. And then, you know what it's probably going to do now? It's probably going to give me carbon ceramics on the rear or something just to mess me up and make sure it has loads of brake force on the rear but none at the front. Yeah, I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. I'm going to have to go with the number of pistons as well on the brakes for this because of the technology and stuff. It has brake pistons. So we're going to go... Are you going to make me have 6 piston carbon ceramics? Please give me a 1 now, if any time. I'll take a 2. It's better. Yeah, I'll show you why this is just so bad in a moment. So we've got this. This is the front brakes. As you can tell, they're like the lowest end technology. Just to make a point, when I was building an economy car from the 1960s, it ended up with these brakes. They're kind of like top end supercar brakes on the back. And as you can imagine, with the brakes balanced like that, the thing is going to slide. And it's going to slide pretty badly when you step on the brakes. The only thing I can try and do is just tweak the settings. So rear force, we'll go with 20% there. And we'll go with absolutely minuscule brakes. And then they'll go with massive drums. Like, that's all I can do to change it. To try and make this weird prompt actually work. The one advantage it has, the rear brakes aren't going to overheat because they're carbon ceramics. 2 pistons, that's what we want as well. It's not saying the rear brake force is high, so that's something. Yeah, under tray. If this can give me a rally under tray, or like an off-road under tray, that would be the one thing it could do for me. So we've got, I think we've got 7 options. Bring up the wheel, Coon. So, it's giving me a good under tray at least. So, 1, 2, 3. Well, none is technically 0. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flow optimized. So, that's not super downforcey, but it's decent. Do we want cooling flaps? Let's see. 1 or 2 for cooling flaps. The car is less bad than I expected, but it has been very cruel with the brakes. Very cruel. So we've got, 1 is our winner. We've got to, see, like, it's just these drum brakes on the front, and then it looks like it's got no brakes on the back because they're carbon ceramics, and that's the only ever way I'm going to balance out the terrible and brilliant brakes. I do want to lean into the GT70 thing, though, still. So, seats, I think we'll keep them at 2. I mean, I don't see any reason to ask for a wheel about that, so... Yeah, this is what I like for the channel, like Core 2 Duo Blue. And I match it with silver, because I like Core 2 Duos, so I commonly match with blue and silver. Like, that's the idea. I can also use white if there's no silver available, because early Core 2 Duos used white instead of silver, so that is an alternative. I mean, hey, if you have to use a car with black plastics, there's even the Core 2 Extreme excuse, because they had, Core 2 Extreme had black, and I think it was like black and silver or something like that. I kind of forget now. I forget just when I need the information. So we've got... just look at how wigged this wheel looks now. That looks so wigged. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should remember this stuff, but there is 7. So we've got 7 options. Let's see. Let's see how the interior is going to end up. Please, 1 here, because it'll be lightweight. Yes, for once you gave me a 1 when I needed the 1. You know what? It could be a lot worse. So we've got 1. A basic interior will be very lightweight, so I can't complain about wigged. Yeah, I mess like my mouth does this stuff and I don't know why. I should be able to say rigged, but I fail. So we've got we need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we going to have a decent level of interior infotainment? We're going to have premium. Okay. Look, for the sake of continuity, I'm just going to pretend that's rally gear and not actually a luxury sound system. Yeah, it's totally rally gear. That's why it's going to be heavier. Is it going to be cruel and give me like some steering that somehow doesn't work? So we've got 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bring up the wheel. Let's see what we get. And let's see if it'll be any good. I could tell it wanted to land on 1 again there. But it's like, maybe he wants me to land on 1. I'm not going to do that. Ooh, variable hydraulic, that's good stuff. I'll take variable hydraulic. Because it's even somewhat accurate to the 1970s. Because I think they had hydraulic steering then as well. If it was electric, it would be too modern and wouldn't fit into the whole scheme. Do we have traction assists as well? So we're doing the steering and traction assists. And my hand seems to be in an awkward position on this mouse mat. Yeah, Wheelcoon always seems to think about 1. I don't think he was doing it on the art channel. That's what's crazy. It wasn't... I guess because I didn't have numbers. I guess that's why I gave him access to numbers and... Yeah. Okay, I'll take this. It's giving me ABS. It seems Wheelcoon is actually back to being kind of nice to me because variable hydraulic steering and ABS, that's good. You don't need traction control, especially when you're given all-wheel drive to help put it down. Yeah. Ship number 1 with a wheel. I don't know, my screen on that, like, when I scrolled over that specific comment, it was just going all glitchy, which is strange. Now, the safety. So, safety, we've got 1 or 2. And... wheel. Yes, I did call it wheel, like wheel on the actual OBS. That's what I named it. Do we get advanced safety? Because, quite frankly, you're probably going to need a lot of advanced safety in this. Yeah. You get advanced safety. Thank goodness. Because this car is probably going to be a death trap. Like, it's even got a soft top. So having advanced safety is, like, going to save it. We'll go, for springs. This is also a chance for it to really mess with me. So if we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a chance, as I say, for it to really mess up my car. Well, I say my car. It's technically the Wheel's car. The brand is Wheel. You can't see it at the top right now, but the brand is Wheel. It'll show when I remove the wheel. Yeah. Hydro pneumatic. Oh, that's brilliant. We've got Citroen suspension. Because I've got hydraulics. It only has twin tube dampers available, so I'll skip that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then we've got 4 options here. Yeah, so my Citroen has hydro pneumatic, so I like this option. It's chosen what's clearly the best option, and it's even given me active sway bars. This is good. I like this. So at least if we check here, like this is pretty good stuff here. Like hydro pneumatic, I would argue, is up there with air. Yeah, for now I might as well just call it wheel car. I called the other one. I can't remember. I think I called the other one Bob the Brick, which I would just bring it up for a moment. This one here, that is called Bob the Brick. I named it that. The brand is still Wheel, but I called it Bob the Brick. That has got a steel body, and that weighs like 2.2 tons. That's a very heavy thing. I don't know how heavy this is going to be. So here, I'm not going to let it choose a setup here, because that's really, I'm still using the config. It's like letting it choose the engine config of the engine specs, and like how it's tuned, and that's just not going to work. So we've got, I could go with off-road. I think that's the closest to rally. Yeah, Bob the Brick. I think Bob the Brick could have looked terrible, but the engine is behind the rear passenger seats, and it's rear-wheel drive. It's not the SUV it looks like in the slightest. Yeah, so we've got two mid-engine V10 vehicles, only this one's all-wheel drive. The car has strong oversteer. Try increasing rear grip. If I go back to transmission, I feel like... where was it? I think with all-wheel drive... is it all-wheel drive? Power split. Let me just check something, because it did say I have to go with 4x4. It is on 4x4. I think it's just because it's locked. Now, it's got open diffs front and rear, which is not ideal, but still. Yeah, I'm just reminded constantly it's got 3 gears. How fast is it? This seems terrifyingly fast. Something with drum brakes on the front. 200 miles per hour-ish and something with, like, drum brakes on the front. The back brakes are good, but the back brakes are only the back brakes. They're there basically to assist the front brakes. Funny story. You know, Bob the Brick 0 to 60 miles per hour time. With a bit of tuning, that was 5.3. This is 5.4. I feel only Bob the Brick had nowhere near his top speed. But I fear I may have unintentionally built a weird competitor to Bob the Brick. Oh no, this is actually better now. So if I could try this. If it's light enough, I could probably get a good time. Yeah, so like, just keep the first gear really long, which kind of works in a rally car because, you know, we're going to get that instant grip. So we've got 5.1. This is quicker than Bob the Brick. Not by much, but it's quicker than Bob the Brick. Bob the Brick just had power, though. The likes of which this does not have. So it looks like making these gears longer is working in my favour. I guess it just must have a lot of low-end grunt to push the car along, but it doesn't really need the high-end... Like, it doesn't really need the same level of low-end. I guess it just needs it more on the high-end. I'll take this. So the gears are very long here, which is fine, because, as you'll see, it does really get going. That doesn't affect it. I think it's because it adjusts more of a second gear. So I'll go with what seems balanced. Let's go with 66. 66 seems to put it in decent balance between the other 2 gears. Automated manual. This is going to be quite something to drive. The front brake force is low. The rear brake force is low. At least they're both low. So I have an idea. The brakes, actually, I may be able to get working. But I do want to fix this hydraulic suspension. So it's raised up. Honestly, this is where the issue comes in. Because it's on pushrod front suspension. Pushrod does not like going tall off the ground at all. So maybe that was a plan all along. Maybe it was to lead me on into thinking I got very good front suspension. And then try and make me build a rally car where you need the suspension to be raised up. So the car has strong understeer. Try increasing rear grip. Now, we can go make these 0. I can even go with positive camber. Well, that has actually fixed it. No, it hasn't fixed it. It's got strong oversteer now. Where's the balance? How is the balance, should I say? So we've got... yeah, spent like an hour on this. We've got 15 miles per gallon. That is also slightly better than Bob the Brick. This car is better than Bob the Brick, apart from the fact it doesn't have 5 seats. And it's not as well balanced. Bob the Brick was closer to 50-50 on the balance, which is the ideal situation. How heavy is this? I don't imagine it being that heavy. Does it say? $32,000 apparently. We've got 1407.3 kilos. Yeah, yeah. Hour well spent. Hour well spent being tormented by the wheel. The wheel's torment is cruel, but we get used to it. For we love the wheel, even if it is cruel. Where was I? Oh yeah, so hydraulics. I think one thing I can do, off-road, I think I want it to be pretty good off-road as a rally car, but it's only so high I can make it. Now, the one benefit to being a rally car, they don't necessarily have to be super high because we're not rock crawling in it, we're just taking the car, like, off-road. Softening that has actually somewhat fixed it, I think. The roll angle is high, oh dear. How do we get, I think, from what I'm seeing before, is the wheel actually, is the wheel conscious, I wonder? Is the wheel watching us and finding new ways to make our life harder? So we've got, front dampers are soft. I think I'm getting, yeah, strong oversteer still. If I make the front stiffer, that should in theory help. How I'll get the overall suspension working. Like, it's still got strong oversteer. I think if I try adding that, another thing I can do, I can go with like some positive camber on the front, which should help it. Yeah, it's going to look a bit odd because the wheels will lean out and then the opposite direction to the rear, but certainly I don't doubt it. It's the wheel watching us, I do wonder. The rear brake force is low. Like, here's the thing. How do I get this? How do I fix this? Because it just doesn't seem to want to function. You know what I could try? Does Sport fix it? I'll go with whatever one of these tries to, like, reduce the oversteer. I could also change the tyre widths. Is the wheel watching us? Never. Oh, I'm sure the wheel isn't watching us and Sakura isn't sus at all. I'm going to take the easy way out, though, of stopping this. I'm going to take the easy way out of trying to get this to stop oversteering. I mean, it could just be the fact there's no grip in the tyres. Right, that's fixed it. Tiny front tyres. I think I can go a little wider. Yeah, so the cross plies will only go so wide. 225. So those tyres are a lot smaller than the rear. But it's like, what am I supposed to do? I've lost some acceleration, actually. I think I've regained that acceleration. The thing is kind of gripping. Like, I have no doubt with these cross-ply rally tyres, it's not going to be the best. But it should still work. I think I'll go with 70 air, like slightly longer. Almost doing 200 miles per hour. Is that, yeah, that doesn't affect the top end much, so anything to try and get a little more pace out of the thing. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it like 5.10 to 60. I can also try and upgrade the, what's it? I think as long as I give myself about half an hour to try the thing in PNG and actually try and drive this monstrous vehicle. I just hope it won't overheat because Bob the Brick, that thing loved to overheat before I messed with it, around a bit. Wait, boxers don't say meow. This box is sus. So, Where is it? I think we might be on the wrong menu there. I think we might need to go back. So we've got this. Yeah, front wheels will need to be brought out a little. I don't think I need to widen this car. I think it's wide enough as it is. Yeah, that's as wide as it'll go, which is fine. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't gonna because it's four-wheel drive, so it's like 50% front, 50% rear power, but I had to make the front smaller because I guess the pushrod suspension and the double wishbone don't get along that well. But are you really a box? Or is the wheel a box? That's a true question. Is the wheel a box? We must find out. I'm also Core2 Duo E. I don't know like what happened to the rest of the name, but I am just Core2 Duo E. Which is confusing because, as I know, there is a lot of different Core2 Duos. Sure, why not? It's almost like it's not a box, but Sakura is just like, I can't be bothered fighting you. So fine, it's a wheel. Or fine, it's a box, should I say. And where are we? Yeah. So trying to get this stuff working. The brake force it's complaining about. I'm going to go back to the suspension. I could set it for utility or off-road. Utility is a lot stiffer on the back. And I don't think I want that. So a rear brake force slope. You know what? I'll take this. Like, the default settings appear to do a job of things. Yeah. It is life-changing information. I feel like now modding, like, I think you can like do customization stuff with this wheel. So I'll bring it up. I think there's like various customization stuff. I do wonder if you could change the wheel itself to be a square. That would be kind of amusing, I think. So with this, I think I'll just change the anti-roll bars a little to try and make this thing perhaps a little better in general. Like if comfort's better and if the off-road score is better on the left, then there we go, on the left, then that might overall improve it. The clearance at the side of the engine is getting narrow and the rear tyres are wide. I can't do a whole lot about that. So we've got 56.4. Softening this anti-roll bar in the back is good. And it makes sense it's good because the thing's going to be allowed to roll at the back, and that means typically there's going to be more grip on the back because the rear axle can just generally rotate. Whereas if it was too stiff on the back, it wouldn't be able to rotate, and it would it just wouldn't put the power down, and it would slide, or at the very worst case, it would hop about on the dirt. Not something you want on a rally car. So we've got 1800 there. It looks like this is how it's set up. I mean, I have to remember, the front and rear suspension technologies are different as deemed by the wheel, so I have to try and make the thing work. So yeah, it's complaining about the clearance. It asked me to put a transverse V10 in, and I can't defy that. The brakes suffering from brake fade. Yeah, the iffy brake setup of low-end drum brakes front and carbon ceramics on the rear. I'm going to have to try and make this work. That's the tricky thing. So if I go here, there is statistics, I think, will show the brake distance. I usually use this, so 54.3. Like, if I make that smaller, does it reduce the brakes? Yes, it does. Well, of course it would. It's drum brakes. So we've got 50.4. See how high I can make this. If it's pretty much a race car. 49.5. 49.3. Yeah, so there's only so far I have to go with a pad type. But this will, I think, kind of save the drum brakes. Like, that's as low as I can make the force and get maximum brake performance. Yeah, the thing is, Bad brakes are scary. Believe me, these are worse than bad. If you see a modern car, even the really cheap ones typically, this will be the type of brake they have on the back. They will not ever have this brake technology on the front. Maybe some earlier cars from the 1950s or even 60s, you would not see this on a modern car, which is why I'm trying to lean into a retro rally car vibe. Carbon ceramics, they didn't even exist in the 70s to my knowledge. So that is just off, but it's the best I can do is just make them really tiny, so they don't really do anything. Again, we've got 49.4. Does that change? Does that make it better? Yes, it does. I'm not going to make these really large, though. The rear brake force is low. It's not complaining about the front brake force, interestingly. So we've got 48.6. This is actually getting some good 48.5. So if I make them a little bigger. 46.2. Why are the carbon ceramics so bad? Like, what's going on here? Why is... I know I've lowered the force, but still. The brakes are stuff. Okay. So 50% should do the job. It's just because I had the force, like, so low. I think I can make this work. 32.7. That is the brake performance I like to see. 32.8. 32.4. Okay, 270. They're suffering from brake fade, apparently. But, look, as far as this goes, things could have gone a lot worse than they have done. They could have gone a lot worse than this, given how mismatched the brakes are. It was actually on, what was it called? Bob the Brick. It was actually pretty kind to me there, because it gave me carbon ceramic front, and then it gave me vented discs. I think 4-piston vented discs on the back, or something like that, and 6-piston carbon ceramics on the front. It was really kind with that car, because it gave you the exact kind of brakes you want in a high-performance vehicle. That did weigh, like, probably 800 kilos to a ton heavier than this, though. So the one thing it's got on its side, 1400 kilos, so the brakes, there's less of a necessity for them to be absurdly strong. I think the overall things are pretty small here, so I'll go and see the tyres again. So we've got, can I go 235 without causing oversteer? I can, actually. Don't know what exactly is going on here, but if I can make them wider without triggering oversteer. 235, I'll take it. They're a little wider than it had. Check the gearing. So we'll go with lowering that, I think. Yeah, so put it on about 6.2. 5.1. My car does something like... what was it? And I'm on photo mode. I think mine does something like 8 seconds-ish to 60. It's faster than you would think for a diesel estate from 11 years ago. But that car, it does something like 8. And that's 160 horsepower in like a perfectly normal family estate or wagon, whatever you decide to call it. Or I guess Tourer if you go with a Citroen term. Yeah, so that's like 8 seconds, 0 to 60, and this is doing 5.1. If you ever needed a point as to which this is less impressive than it sounds. Now, the engine. So yeah, I think I've still got a little time to do some engine tweaking. Engine and transmission, that should be all we need, and I should actually be able to get a decent car out of the whole thing. So I should be able to change the timing as well. The timing is a thing that can be upgraded. Lower the compression a little. There's fuel mixtures. I think with this, as I say, going full on in the rally car thing, the V10, not exactly a rally car engine, a carburetted V10, but it's something I can try and tweak. So fuel map, this is a way, basically, you can throw the whole economy away, but throw the economy away, that sounds like what the AI industry is about to do. But yeah, I'm not doing that with my car. You won't see AI on this car. AI on this car is pretty much the opposite of intelligent, to be quite honest. The wheel did an okay job of developing it, but it is not intelligent in any sense of the word. The torque has like an odd lump there. I think it'll be fine. It's not a turbo, so it's not like going to cut in or anything in the way a turbo might. I do want to get 300 horsepower though. 300 horsepower, and you get into that point where it's actually falling into the territory of a retro rally car. Like, quite a few rally cars have that kind of power. Yeah, I think it's funny thing about this game, there is actually like AI engine development, as they call it. I never use it because it always does a bad job. I just rather make the engine myself. Even the wheel, if you ask me, even the wheel can design a better engine. Because it sets all the stuff wrong. Like, it's sometimes better than just leaving everything untweaked, but I can easily build a better engine without even trying. Battle Royale. Yes, the battle between the cheese and a pear and a dragonian cat girl. It's the fight of the ages, probably. Yeah, it doesn't like it. It says, reducing the engine's reliability when I make it too advanced. I'll leave it on 75. It's usually happy enough with that. Can I at least get 290? I wonder if making the carburetor smaller will help it. Sometimes it does weird things like this, and I just can't quite explain them. It's like how making the fuel map lower is not really hurting the power. You would typically not think of this as being a thing, because higher fuel map, more fuel, more power, but it's not that simple. So much goes on with these engines, it just doesn't quite make sense to me. Okay, so, yeah, we want the full carburetor size, as I expected. I mean, there's also VVL. Like, I can try tweaking this. I might get a bit more power if I do it properly. Yeah, 58. There's only so far I can push that before the lump just becomes completely unacceptable. I mean, it would probably work well with VVT, but I don't have VVT. The wheel deemed that I'm not allowed VVT. Oh, this VVL RPM. I missed that totally. I do apologise. I've done a really dumb thing here. The VVL, yeah. So if I raise the VVL RPM, I might make it a bit less noticeable, like when it cuts in. I think I've played around with this feature before. I don't use VVL all that much, but because it's not really worth it in my opinion. But the wheel did give me VVL, and I might as well try and use it to the best of its to the best of its options, would I say? And then maybe if I lower the VVL RPM to something more reasonable, I can then raise the VVL. So if I lower the VVL, will that help? I wonder. No, it will not help at all. I just have to try and make sure, like, even if the power curve is imperfect, if I can get this to make solid power, so I think 5,000-ish, and I can raise that a little. There we go. Now we're making the power. As I say, it's not like I'm messing with turbos. Turbos can be really difficult to tune. I don't know. Did the Battle Royale happen? I do remember the corrupt Battle Royale before, where it didn't even let you into the Battle Royale. Like, that was just... What was Stream Avatars doing? Yeah. I know, they do sound similar, don't they? There's also VVT. VVT probably also sounds like something. I mean, it's like, there's also LSD, which is limited slip differential, but it also shares its term with a certain illicit substance, and yeah, they do sound exactly the same. Well, they are the same. They are the same. It's just one of them's an acronym, and I think they both are acronyms even, but one of them is something you kind of want, and the other is something you probably shouldn't touch at all. Ah, so cam profile. That might help, actually. If I can play into the valve lift, variable valve lift, and the cam profile, maybe this would work out. Springs and lifters I have as well. Just trying anything, really, to throw at it. Valve lifter. It's just variable valve lift. Room lift, yeah. I don't know. I mean, there probably is something like Brazilian room lift. It's probably something they do on Volkswagen Beetles or something. I'd say that it's probably a real thing, knowing how this world goes. So we've got 287.5. I do like this game. I'll probably be playing My Summer Car at some point, streaming that, because that should be fun. But I thought this would be a good start to streaming stuff. Just, you know, building a wheel car. A really good car. So I think if I can get 290, I'll be fairly happy to call it a day. I mean, I've been playing this game for like so many years now, like 10 years, and it's got better. You can do so much. You can get working steering wheels and everything. I mean, I have got that video of Boaty McBoatface, which was the like 80s muscle car I built, and that I did put the steering wheel on, and I did a fully modelled interior and everything, which I won't be doing here because it takes a lot of time, but if you're willing to put the time in, you can do so much. Yay! I got an 11 out of 10. I honestly just feel like I'm rambling now in a boring way, so I appreciate that comment. Because it just feels like I'm nonsense rambling. I'm not like, I wonder if I did this again, I wonder how the wheel would design it, because it's developed so far like two entirely different vehicles. I can make the exhaust larger, but it doesn't really do anything. I think the carburetor is hurting it, to be quite honest. I think I'm gonna have to leave it at 288. It's going to take far more time than it's ever going to be worth to tweak it beyond this. So what's the revs at, I wonder? We've got if I can use the valve lift. I'm going to try manipulating the valve lift a little. That's the only way I can think I'm going to get 290. Actually, it's working, you know. It's working better than I expected. There is a bit of a dip developing, like where it kicks in, but actually raising the VVL gives me the power, and without really impacting the curve negatively. Yeah, I'll take this. It's going quite well with the valve lift now. Yeah. Rambling. I just do that though. Like even when I'm not streaming or anything, I just tend to ramble nonsense about this game because I feel like it's something I can just go on about. Just building dumb stuff is fun, and I can build an entirely decent vehicle as well as the next guy, but like the nonsense is more fun. Like, letting the wheel just decide my fate. You know what? I'll take the valve lifter. The valve lift has given me a nice boost here. The Crow may work here, it may not. I don't know. Like, the Sakura bot is the same, but I have signed into this other channel, this gaming channel, so yeah, it's anyone's guess whether it'll work or not. Can still make a Crow, and it should work that way. It just varies, I guess, if it's tied into the channel it was made on. Either that or I'm being slow and it works. It's just going to take ages. I don't know. It does weird things sometimes. Like kick you out of your own battle royale. I still don't understand that in the slightest. Why would it do that? Okay, so compression. Again, it's things like this. If I can get the fuel map, I can get 295. Which I don't think I'm going to get, really. So 37. Manifold side. Let's try this. Is this going to be a chance to get extra? The engine is just like balked in completely weird ways. Like, I would never build an engine exactly like this. To be fair though, I do enjoy building a lot of just dumb low-end engines like 1960s 3-cylinder, 1 litre 3 cylinders. I love that kind of thing, but admittedly, it's not entertaining at all. 79. Okay, this is done enough. I've done what I can, and I've still not gained that much power. True. The cheese is very powerful. I mean, I can't deny that. Like, so far, this sounds pretty nice. I don't know how loud it's going to be in beam. It has got some mufflers on, as the wheel decided that. Yeah, I mean, I have to kind of limit the RPM because you might see it on the right here, just above the Hoge, that 7,500 RPM. That is what I'm restricted to because of a crankshaft, which has been specified. It's specified a pretty low-end crankshaft, and that's limiting the whole RPM of the engine. Like, if I change this to just regular cast iron, for example, we see we can rev the car a lot higher, but that's against the spec, so I have to go with it as it is. Yeah, so, I think I've got like another half an hour till I intend to finish the stream at the normal 2 hours. And I've got this car like an hour and a half, and I think an hour and a half for a somewhat polished car, I think I could have done worse. Like, it's polished enough, I think, to call it a creation of my own. Although, that would be unfair on the wheel. That did decide on pretty much everything of this car. So, to say, like, this is a creation of my own, no, it isn't a creation of my own. I would be claiming something I do not deserve the right to say. The wheel has designed this car, and the wheel is very good at designing cars. Except for when it decides these brakes are, what's it, carbon ceramic wear, drum brakes on the front. I mean, I could be totally wrong. This thing could drive absolutely amazingly, but I don't think it will. As I say, I'm going to do what I can to make this thing a bit of a rally car. So if we go with these are more modern though, but there is actually some headlights like these, yeah. I think they look like they would work instead of those. Am I just building an Alpine A110 now? It looks vaguely like that. Like the updated one. I think that's okay. Like, I could have built something a lot worse than this, so they look older, definitely. They look like earlier headlights from the 90s or whatever, or probably early 2000s, but I don't hate that look. As I say, if I'm going for a retro rally car, why not commit to it? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the question I have is, like, is it going to grip? Because what I feel like is, these tyres, I get the feeling they have no grip. Or it's going to be a case of they grip amazingly well on dirt, but they're absolutely hopeless on tarmac. If only we had a wheel badge, that would be perfect. Oh, actually, I've had an idea. I think this is a 0. I think if I could get an O would be a little rounder. But a 0 will work for what I'm intending to do. This is, I think, one of my best ideas I've had in this game. I can just, like, resize it like that. So this is an O, naturally. But it's not going to be an O forever. Because I have ideas for what to do to this. The brand is wheel, after all. And fireworking the cheese. Would the cheese even survive being fireworked? Random thoughts. Okay, so we have an L. Oh, this is a ridiculous idea. Just stay with me for a moment because I think it'll work. They're snapping to the middle. So that's, I think I'm going to have to flatten that out a little to make this work. I may be creating art. So we've got to shift that and then I can move it a little. This might make sense now. The weirdest part is it actually kind of looks like a legitimate car company logo. And it's just literally me throwing parts together. Yeah, it's a real logo. Because I feel like it's easy enough for me to just throw all the fixtures together and do this, so why not? Not perfect, but, you know, I think it's recognisable as a wheel logo. Use shift and then you can, like, pivot it. The wheelmobile. Like, I could do it, I could try and do it a little more advanced, but to be honest, as long as it looks vaguely like a wheel, I'm happy with it. There we go. It is a wheel brand car. I don't want to do that on the back, though. I might just simplify it for the back end so I have something, I don't know. I could just use an A, like, an A would be a cheaty way of doing it, that's for sure. It looks a little too modern if I'm going for the 70s rally car vibe. The wheel controls all. So it's mid-engine. This body actually does at least look decent as a mid-engine car. So I'm gonna try something. No, that's more of a 3DA. I want something slightly more two-dimensional. I see that K, but I don't think I'm gonna make it work. Ooh, a V! Why didn't I think of that before? There is a V in the game. I'm not gonna redo the front one though, because it'd take time and that's serviceable enough. It's the kind of thing, like, I hope you're proud of your work, Wheel. Because now you've got your own logo. It's doing that weird thing, like, automation sometimes does, where it gets the A stuck on the screen. Like, that's not going to do anything. Overall. Oh, dear. It's got, like, clipping to the middle on, and I don't know how to turn it off. Like, I'm probably doing something dumb, but that will have to do. It is a wheel brand car. I think the front one still looks a little better, but I had to wush job it. Wheel. So, what I was thinking though, I'm going to have to put some rally lights on it. And I might be able to tie this together. There are some various, like, or a lot of fixtures, should I say. Do they... I could make them 3D, but I want the ones that, like, stick out. Some of them do. But they don't all. Like, I want ones that stick up, like the Ford GT70. I'm not sure if a GT70 ever actually raced as a rally car, but no less, this is... it gives me an idea to steal. Ooh. I see something I might like. Yeah, it's done it again. Like, sometimes you have to click off the actual fixture menu and then click back on it, or it just doesn't work. So I keep thinking it's like, that's how much it can load, which is almost a ton. Quite impressive, actually, given that this is the chaos it is. So, yeah, we have got to finish this off. I won't be messing with the aerodynamics. I hope it has enough cooling and doesn't overheat like the other car did. I'll have to come back into automation if it does. Bit of a hassle, though. Now, I'm going to have to close the car and open it again. I mean, I've had this issue before. I don't know what exactly caused it. It's just you try and add more fixtures and it just doesn't end up working. So we have got... Hopefully this wheel works. If not, I have a controller. I have got a wheel here, though. And it does have 3 gears. It has 6 gears, so yeah, I have enough for a 3-speed transmission. I don't know, is it like it's an automated manual, which I think automated manual basically means you've got a robot grabbing at the shifter and changing for you, instead of just a properly engineered automatic. AI automatic or whatever. Why do I feel like, though, the weird thing is they would actually call it AI automatic transmission nowadays. Because everything has to be called AI, even when it has like nothing to do with robots that try and murder all of humanity. They still call it AI. I don't despise this. I'm going to have to maybe like remove the chrome. Like if I can, maybe if I can like make this transparent, will that help? Nah, just makes a gap. It was worth a try. I mean, I do like my chrome, that's the thing. But does a chrome... I don't know if chrome really fits on a rally car. I'm going to try and cheese some little chrome pieces into this. So this black, that can be converted to chrome because I think it'll look a little nicer. I want to fit some more wheel Easter eggs in. Now, I believe if we go on vents... I believe I have another way of cheesing it into it. Quite like these. They're like turbines. They are a lot like turbines. Is that 3D? No, it's 2D. I think I can get some better ones that don't like stick out so much. I do need some round ones because I've had an absolutely dumb idea and I intend to use it. These should do. They're also going to act as cooling. It's typically where you would put some fog lights, which I'm not going to have on this particular vehicle, but still. I could go with like a somewhat transparent mesh because why not? I feel like in reality that's most likely to be some kind of brake cooling. If I had them positioned there. Maybe a bit further in so they actually do cool the brakes. Yeah, the thing is, what's funny about the whole AI thing, it's like, they stick it on everything to make it sound cooler, but now everyone despises AI, so it's not really going to do anything of use for them. Anyway, we have got this, okay, I think I can make this work. Bit of a random idea, but I should be able to... Yes! Another kind of real Easter egg. It looks really tacky, I'll be honest. Like, it's not finished properly. Maybe if I make that a little, like, shorter as a fixture, so... Something like that. Then we can go chrome. Chrome there. There, it's a little wheel Easter egg I've tried to add. So it's like we've got the needle and then we've got the wheel. Although I feel like I can do a better idea of it, a better way of doing it. If I go with trim, Okay, this might work if I go on a 3D shapes and get like an oval or something. Let's try this. So if I go in like the resize thingy bobber. That should be 2D surely. I don't know. A window or sunroof. Where would I put a sunroof here? I could put some vents on the back as well. Like, there's plenty of space for vents here. And I only have so much time. Ooh. Tesla. I found one use for a piece of a Tesla. Yeah, someone will get angry at me for saying that. Anyway, this is where I need the Tesla bits to make the little Easter egg. I don't think this looks too bad. So if I bring that forward into another layer. I don't know if this looks... This doesn't look as much like a mustache as my Citroen. I can make that silver. So it's like less in your face chrome, but it's still there. And then this will hopefully make sense. There, little wheel Easter egg of mine. And I don't think that looks as bad as it could. I think I've done okay. Yeah. Well, actually the expression matches as well. It's like, so you think I'm a wheel? It's such a weird expression. And I like it. Yeah, it's like you turn your head. What's going on with that design? Why have they given it completely random grills? But, you know, it's a rally car, so we do need even more lights. Every rally car needs a unnecessary amount of lights on it. Because why wouldn't you? I could probably actually... Yes, I'm going to use this. So if I go to the front like so, make them a little smaller. Because rally, we're going to have a lot of these lights here. So duplicate them. I'm just making this thing look weirder now, but you know what I don't hate? Actually, those lights being there, they kind of increase the wheel effect, so to speak. There we go. We'll probably blind everyone on the rally stage, but we at least have enough lights now. So that's a thing. And we haven't even started on the back end. Just spending so long being dumb. I know. I'm getting too many wheel ideas. Could probably minimise the wheel now, to be honest. I'm not using it right now. But I'm getting too many wheel ideas. Ooh, this is too good. You're tempting me, game. Why must you tempt me like this? Yeah, it may be clear what I'm plotting here. I don't know how I'm going to tie this in. We need some chrome, obviously, because it's my car, so chrome everywhere. But it's a lot of ice creams. Sounds like a gambleable number of ice creams. Don't know if anyone even has that much money on these streams. Because technically it's the first time I've used avatars here, so might have no money. This is so dumb, but I don't hate it. So I think if I go 3D, Now, I want one that kind of bends around. Yeah. I don't know if it will say you've not got enough money, though. I think it does that when you don't have enough. The number of ideas I could have about what to do with the avatars. Yeah, so that does what I want it to. And then I can just use mirror. Speaking of which, I do need some mirrors. I think I've done actually a pretty good job of the design on this. Yes, it's kind of wild, but at the same time, it works for what it is. I saw these tail lights. I had to. They actually look like legitimate design features as well, though. Like, I could have done a lot worse with just incorporating them. I'm beginning to feel like the wheel car company might go into debt with all this extra specialised design. All for what? To make a car look like a wheel. This isn't going to be perfect, but I'm going to just stick a massive grill on the back. It looks like it looks scared. To be fair, with those brakes, it probably is scared of brake checking someone. I think we do have dual exhausts, though. That gives me an idea. It looks terrified. It's like, what are you doing to me? I just wanted to be a wheel car, and you made the wheel ruin me. Yeah, I mean, this at a car show, it would scare me. I would be like, oh no, I do not want to ride in that. It's dangerous. I mean, especially if you go to a car show, do not let them turn the headlights on. Half a show would go blind. So, we need exhausts. I do have an idea for exhausts. There's dual tip. Like, this I think is going to work quite well. Mirror them. No, I want to redo that. It's like, I selected the wrong key. I meant to rotate, but... There we go. The car that is scared. I'm not sure there's even space for the exhaust to go in there, to be honest. Could try making them a little shorter. That would probably look good overall. They do not look good. That's too short. Yeah, just ignore the fact that it's kind of hitting the rear wheels with the exhausts. That's probably fixed it, to be honest. I will be driving the thing, though. For better or worse, I will be driving this terrifying monster of a car. I'm also going to call it Car RS because it's like Rally Sport. Like, that is its name, Car RS. I was like, oh no. I saw the image there, the still image, and I was like, no. It kind of does. It's a very scared frog. To be fair, if this car starts hopping about on the dirt because the suspension's set up weirdly, that will actually make it look like a frog. Actually, you know what? Car RS Frog Edition. Yes, that is a perfect name. And I have to obsessively save. Now we need some mirrors and door handles, and I think we will be done enough. Oh, those drum brakes at the front. They just look off. Like, my mind is saying change them. They should not be like that. But the wheel has decided I cannot change them. I have a fuel filler cap, so I'm going to stick that in. Maybe. No. Oh dear. I have to close and open the car again because it's not letting me add fixtures. Come on, load the Frog Edition. There. It's a convertible as well. Oh dear. Like, I feel this is just a death trap of a vehicle. Good. HGV mirrors. Light truck mirrors. This would look cursed. It looks slightly less cursed than I was expecting, actually. I mean, I could do like the older vehicle thing and put them way on the fenders. I can't like these mirrors, but yeah, I can't take it seriously at all with them. Ah, these ones look like nice little mirrors, and it's not adding them. Now it is. Yeah, I often forget the mirrors, but it's like, I want to do a decent job of this. So if I did forget the mirrors again... It's one of those things I feel, it's easy to get, like, lost in the whole wheel nature and stuff and just forget to add mirrors. I think I might have to go 3-dimensional with that because it won't actually let me rotate them correct direction if I don't. I think they look okay. I could actually, what I could do, make that chrome. Add chrome for no apparent reason. Just because I like chrome. There we go. They actually kind of correspond with the roof, so it doesn't look too bad. I think just a bit of ventilation, bit of extra ventilation, and we will be done. They could probably go on the sides. This can be 2-dimensional, maybe. There we go. So we will be flipping these the other way. There we go. Maybe flip them the other way up. That works. So that's hopefully giving the engine some cooling. I mean, as I say, the other one basically grenaded itself from overheating. And I'm almost been 2 hours in already. And I do want to get this thing to actually work in the game. I think, where is the engine? The engine is between the back wheels, so it would be a little further back. There we go. I think yeah, the vents are pointing the right way. So this will do for now. It's not ideal, but I think I've got as good as I'm going to get. No interior for now. But I do think it looks crazy. It looks fun. And it's got like 2 little Easter eggs for the wheel on. Or 3, I guess, if you include the badges. So this will be ready to drive now. It's on open differentials. The glorious open differentials, which are not exactly what you want. So we should be able to export. Do we want high resolution textures for the collapsed livery? I guess. We've got weld breakable fixtures. That would make it completely unbreakable. No, we want this thing to actually have some crash damage, even though it's not as good as the vehicles originally from PNG. So I can hopefully get beam open when this has finalised the export. It's taken a while. Maybe it's all the fixtures. Come on, why is it taking so long? There, finally. Anyway, We will load up Bob the Brick. And then I will switch over. No, that's not Bob the Brick. That's Bob the Brick. We will load up Bob the Brick and then I will move to PNG. Hopefully not taking an age. If it was the Car RS Frog Edition. I have got Task Manager up. Like, that's what was happening when I was trying to get Stream Avatars working. Trying to find it in Task Manager and everything. I think Steam is... Yeah, Steam is not that one. Steam is here. Anyway, we've got to go with... No, I don't want to close Stream Avatars. It's for like the close button bold and filled out. Where is it? Beam. Found it. Found BeamNG Drive. I can drive this crazy monster of a car. Hopefully. As long as it loads in, I'll just let this let Beam load up and then we can... Hopefully, if it shows properly. Yeah, it's on the wrong monitor. I will correct that. We've got options, monitor 2, apply display settings, and we should be back. There we go. BeamNG. We will now be able to drive the vehicle once it's loaded in. Let's find a decent map. Yeah, let's go to West Coast. Let's make my PC have a panic attack with loading all these high-resolution buildings and stuff in. I do have the controller somewhere, so if I can't get the wheel working, I'll find out where I put the controller and use that, or just use the keyboard. Come on. It is loading, it takes some time. Also, I can probably move the avatar because, as I remember in BeamNG, it did tend to get in the way of stuff when it was on that side. It worked for automation, but I did briefly test BeamNG and it was covering up some important stuff. So, come on, please work. I did say I'm going to go in like the West Coast USA to give it the heavyweight map. That may have had some downsides. Yeah, the wheel isn't working. Just one moment, I need to locate the controller. Controller has been located. My monitor has said it's going to turn off in 5 minutes. There we go. I fixed it. Like, it was on the timeout because I've been having it active for that long. Now I'm going to remove a wheel now. I'm totally prepared. This is something different. This is a little turbo hatchback I made. So anyway, I mean, I can move this avatar wherever I want. It's like, where is it? Yeah, I can put it there, but then I have no body and it just looks strange. Because I designed it specifically to go in a corner of the display. It's designed to that spec. And it's also had the eyes fed through a VCR, which is why it has weird artifacting at times. So it doesn't... Yeah, there it is. I thought it wasn't showing. It's because I like making all my cars blue, so it's hard to tell. Wow, this actually sounds good. Why has it got ESC? I feel sure it didn't have that. Don't know, is that off? I think ABS is like tied into that. This isn't bad. This isn't bad at all. Oof. I'm colliding with the ground. It's very soft and bouncy, But it's kind of supposed to be a rally car, so that's not the worst part. You do have to be in the right gear, because there's not a lot of gears. Is it? I feel like the music, yeah, put the parking brake on. I feel like the music has stopped, which is fine if it has finished. Yeah, it has. It's about the time it needs to have finished anyway, so I'm going to turn the volume down a little because it is pretty loud on my end, so it should be more manageable if I go to like let's say minus 32 decibels. Yeah, it's bouncy because it's supposed to be a rally car. Like, I don't hate this being bouncy, though, because you kind of expect that. It's supposed to filter out all kinds of dirt, roads, and whatever. You know what? The only issue I'm noticing is a transmission. The brakes don't even feel that bad. Like, the brakes should really have done this in, but I guess because I've tuned them properly. Oh, I feel like that might have broken something. It doesn't understeer. Like, I feared it was going to understeer into a hedge every time I tried to take a corner. It is not doing that. The cornering is actually pretty balanced. I really like the sound of it. I wasn't expecting it to sound this good. I actually have the 0 to 60 test on this. So if I go, hover over the map somewhere, there is a drag strip if I can find it. Wow. I found it surprisingly quickly. There's bits of this map that I didn't notice from before. Here is the drag strip, which we will be teleporting to. I mean, I feel like there's an easier way of doing it, but I like flying around. Flying around the map is fun. So, F7. I just realised this board, the F6 key, isn't attached to the board anymore. So that's a thing. Let's see how this accelerates. Now, in the top corner, you should see, there is the performance, you'll see there. Fairly decent power curve, which I worked on. On the right of the screen, you'll see there's some performance metrics. We have like 0 to 60, whatever speed you're at, to 0 miles per hour. So we can test this quickly. Yeah, it does, for lack of a better term, it does bog down. Yeah, so it does 0 to 60 actually in exactly the time it said it would. 5.1. I'm going to try going into manual mode to see if I can fix it. Not fix it, see if I can get under 5. Yeah, it's just, the acceleration is hit by the fact that it doesn't really put the power down. Yeah, so 5.1, it does the exact acceleration you would expect. It seems to brake quite well, even with the drum brakes on the front. As I say, if this car was heavier, it would not be savable. But because it's fairly light, I was able to do something with it. Ooh, it's got pretty good turning, to be honest. Yeah, so let's just drive across this dirt. It feels good on the dirt. And this is on cross-ply tyres as well, might I add. This isn't even on modern tyres. They're from like the 1970s or whatever. You know what? I like it. I've built worse cars. I've built far more unpredictable, dangerous cars than this. It does like understeer a little under brakes, but that's a pretty minor complaint. And it's not overheating. That was like my biggest fear after building Bob the Brick. So yeah, I'll just take it off-road a little after this, and then I'll call it a day for this stream. Lifting one of the front wheels. At least it's not lifting a rear wheel. Yeah, so I'll just finish this off when I've taken it on some dirt. Just because it's a rally car, I have to try some like dirt areas on the map. There are some of. So here's the quarry area. We'll give this a try. F7. Control R because I don't want to have broken the car. It does have really nice grip on the dirt as well. Like, I can say that now. Not every car will grip, especially if it's on like racing slicks. Oof. You can hear the collision. Whee! Oh no! I got carried away. And in the water. Yeah. That's when I try and drive a car with this kind of speed. Oof. Yeah, I feel like, you know, people say Mustang drivers are bad. I feel like I'm driving a million times worse than they ever did. Yeah, I quite like what Wheel Coon has built. It could have done a much worse job than it did. Bit of understeer here, but you kind of expect that on the dirt. Yeah, I think it did want to swim. Both the car wanted to swim, and I'm not very good at driving. To be fair, I would be a little better with the wheel. But yeah, I'm a failure as a wheel streamer. I couldn't use a racing wheel. It's like the Xbox controller isn't the worst option. Using it with a keyboard wouldn't ever do this any kind of justice. Yeah. Believe me, I drive better in real life. But then in real life, I don't have a 300 horsepower rally car. My car is both heavier and less powerful. So yeah, you have to make do of what you get here to go quick. Well, the brakes were a little weak there. Well, I think it's just honestly I was travelling at such a high speed. Whee! I don't want to stop driving this. It's just so much fun to throw around. Whee! Let's jump! Ow! The thing is somewhat still going. If I node grabber it, I think I can still keep driving it. Whee! So far, we've had a decent character design from Wheel Coon, and actually a surprisingly decent car design. I will get Bob the Brick. Just as a one final thing for this stream, I will get Bob the Brick to show what Wheel Coon did before. I did give it less control over Bob the Brick than that current car. Wheel Coon had a lot more to do with that one. This, it has a dual This is loud. This is even louder. Like, this thing understeers, though. Like, look, you turn. It feels like you're turning and you're waiting for a different time zone to respond to your email asking to turn the car. That could no doubt be fixed with the tuning, but it's not fun because of the understeer. But otherwise, there's a lot going for this. Despite it being heavy, it does get a move on. The side character, yeah. And maybe because why not, I'm going to just get Boaty McBoatface. This is not a wheel car design, but I want to bring it out, I think. I may have messed with this, so I don't know if it really drives well anymore. It's Boaty McBoatface. This makes no noise. I need to tweak it, but yeah. This is when you make a proper interior, how it can look. It's got the most American interior that ever was. And it's front wheel drive. I do love Boaty McBoatface. It has less understeer than Bob the Brick somehow. Bob the Brick is probably one of the most understeery things I've ever built, and it's not even front wheel drive. I feel like this is deceptively quick, though, because it makes no noise. And we are down at the quarry again. In Boaty McBoatface. Yeah, this is my kind of car. But no doubt, the other one was so much fun. The wheel car. What was it called? Car RS Frog Edition. This is definitely smoother, though. Like you see, I designed this just to be really ultra smooth over bumps and stuff, and I think that shows here. Come on, accelerate! Use your turbo power. There we go. Yeah, I mean, this interior, it's like a very me thing. It's the interior is a me thing because look, it's like panoramic sunroofs are a thing now. You get these massive sunroofs on a car. That wasn't really a thing because this is 1985. So I did the next best thing and I just stuck 3 different sunroofs on it. So like you almost get the panoramic sunroof look. And we also have rear seats. So this is like, it's not listed in automation as a 7-seater, but yes, this is like, so wait, how many? There's 6, 8 seats, I guess, because there's 3 in the front. It's a bench seat. I'm really proud of this, but I took a long time doing it. For, what, 2 hours, less than 2 hours of work, the wheel car, I think, came out far better than it has any right to. How much power does this make? This makes, like, well, this makes 400-ish horsepower. That's more than I remember. This is, like, insanely powerful. Yeah, anyway, I'll be finishing for today. So, see if I can do a celebratory firework on myself. Yeah, there it is. It's come up. Let's see if I can do a celebratory firework for my character. Yeah, it's worked. It doesn't just show a firework. Maybe the pair hid it, I don't know. Anyway, goodbye. May the cheese be with you, and don't drive as badly as I do. That's, yeah, do as I say, not as I do. So yeah, hopefully I'll do it again, because this was fun. But for now, yeah, I'll say goodbye to everyone. And hopefully I will